Rise and shine, it's time for D. It's for drama. I'm your host, Shannon D. And today I am joined by artiste, art teacher, set dresser in the art department on your favorite TV and film sets. And she just completed her first mural in Highland Park, California. Please welcome my friend from college, Natasha Pirouzian.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's
Thank you
bowing,
for having
ladies
me.
and gents. She's bowing.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's so good to see you.
Yes.
It's been a while.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
A lot of time has passed.
We shouldn't let that happen.
No, it's like that whole California thing. If you live on the west side or the east side, you're probably not going to see each other.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Unacceptable, though. That's unacceptable behavior.
But we are here, and today we are going to be talking about the theme, you put the pet in pettiness.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're talking about me, yes.
Yes, always. She's got pets and she's petty, people.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, not anymore so much. Therapy has helped a lot, but yeah, my defense mechanism is being as petty as possible.
We love that. Well, first of all, before we get into that, what are your thoughts on my hat?
I like it.
You do?
I do.
It's giving conductor.
Yeah, but that was also like my childhood dream was to be a train conductor, so I'm into it.
So you're jealous.
This is a kink of mine.
So I got this hat technically I got a bracelet for Christmas a couple years ago. And one thing about me, if you give me a gift receipt, I will be at least looking on the website for what else I can get.
Okay, I respect that. I'm going to start doing that, actually.
So I have this aunt and uncle who work in fashion in New York City, and they're child free. And so they've always gotten us like really nice presents. This is from Hermes.
Oh.
And so they got me a bracelet, and I was just like, I just didn't really like it that much. So of course, got a gift receipt. And so I just kept going back, and there's just like, and Hermes is ugly as fuck. Like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. It's hideous. I can't believe that anyone spends that amount of money. If you guys know about the whole Birkin game, like, do you know about this?
Yeah, the bags are not for me. The scarves, though, are like pretty. Next level.
I was looking at those, but I was just like, I don't know when I'm really ever going to wear them. But then I got this hat.
Yeah.
And I've worn it like twice.
It's
and
excellent.
I always think I look like a fucking idiot.
No, I don't think you look like an idiot at all.
All right. Well, you guys go on YouTube and let me know. But I end up with this because it looked really cute with my outfit that day. And then when I brought it home, I was just like, what did I do? What did I do?
I like it. I think it's worth it. Also, like to say you have an Hermes hat versus
it's kind of chic.
Fucking ugly bag. I think you did the right thing.
Okay.
I have a pop-up book from Hermes. That's like what my budget allowed me.
Yeah.
They have a sick pop-up book of like the history.
Like it actually pops up like a kid's
It's
book?
like the history of like their scarves. So it's a lot of the art from the scarves.
Oh.
And it like pops up and it's very beautiful.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, as an artiste, you must love those scarves because they really are cool.
Yeah, they're beautiful. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm not sure like it would be the thing I would buy, but
I mean, if it was my own money, hell no.
No. Yeah, I spent like $40 on a pop-up book.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, that whole Birkin game. Maybe one day we can do an episode just on like the craziness of because I love, like that's my one weakness is like designer bags. I love them, especially like vintage ones. And I really love the history of it and everything. I've gotten into it in the past years. But I can thank my bougie aunt and uncle for like opening up my world to that because my family's like not like that at all. My immediate family, like they think I'm crazy that I spend the amount of money that I spend on these bags, but I love them. It's my weakness. It's an addiction, honestly.
It is. I feel the same way. My dad kind of stepped away from it. My dad works at Neiman Marcus, so he gets like crazy discounts. So it was designer bags for me for a long time, but now I'm just like really leaning into being Persian and I just want all the perfumes. So now instead of bags, he's just like stocking me up on all the best perfume.
Oh my God, nice. Little collectors. Maybe that could be a theme next time. Collectors.
Ooh, girl.
Collector items.
You've seen my living spaces throughout the decade.
Her apartments are crazy.
Yeah.
Just like, teacups, action figures.
Polly Pockets.
Well, being in the art department,
Yeah.
You have access to all these amazing things. Actually, when I made my web series a few years ago, Natasha worked at which prop house? Universal Prop House. So there's all of these insane props from movies of all of time.
Yeah. I mean, there's some props that are from like movies before color and sound. So
yeah. Could you rent those though, or were those more of like, because some of them are in museums, aren't they?
Kind of. I mean, there are some at the prop house that are so old. You can rent them with permission. Like we had the dinosaurs that they used in Jurassic Park to cast shadows, not like the actual like animatronic dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
But they had these like giant things made that look like legit dinosaurs that they used to like cast shadows on backgrounds.
Yeah.
And you had to get
so
like special
cool.
permission to be able to
rent
use
those.
it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Natasha would let me come and just take props for my web series. It was amazing. It was the best hookup.
Yep.
And then sometimes when I was on set, I'd go and visit her after if I was like working. So it was
a really cool
exciting.
job, but also you like have to like want to be surrounded by stuff, which
she loves.
I do.
Yeah.
But I like needed a window on my floor or something. There's like a window in the corner you would like see people's like head
popping out because they needed sunlight.
Well, you'd see like oil on the window because everybody's like putting their head on the window, like, get me out of here.
I need an ounce of vitamin D, please.
Pretty much. I had one of those lights that people use for seasonal depression. I had one at my desk. I would just like turn it on, close my eyes, and just like rest my head on it because it was so...
Yeah, it was just like a warehouse, basically.
A warehouse filled with stuff.
Would the sun have ruined some of the props? Is that why?
Interesting argument. I don't think that's what anyone else was thinking.
Yeah, it was just like a warehouse.
But they'd probably use that excuse now if they heard it, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
Sun
then let's
damage.
not let them let's not give it to them then.
Yeah.
We need workers' rights here. They need
we need daylight. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into, you put the pet in petty, baby.
Well, basically what we just talked about, I am very into design and my space. I'm a collector. I love furniture. And so I was doing really well at the time. This was a while ago. I was living with Gino, who also went to college with us, and two other people. We'll keep them nameless.
Yes.
And
should we give them names?
Perry and Todd.
Chic.
So
now, weren't you dating one of them?
Yes.
Were you at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
I was starting to do really good in my career, and I was like, I'm going to buy us a beautiful dining room set. I spent like real money on it, not like Facebook Marketplace money. It was a redone mid-century modern dining room set. The chairs are upholstered. They're beautiful. Everything's walnut. I'm obsessed with this. So basically, I get home one day from work, and all three of these guys are sitting on the couch playing video games, like normal.
Classic.
Yeah. I go into my room to put my stuff down, and I'm like greeted with a stack of the dining room chairs in my room. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? First of all, dining room chairs don't belong in bedrooms.
Yeah.
So I'm like already upset. This doesn't make sense. My world is spiraling out of control.
Out of control.
Well, also, I'm like recently diagnosed with ADHD. So it all makes sense now, like why this would irritate someone so much. So
how many chairs are there?
4.
Okay.
It's like not even this is why this is the most petty story I have. It's not even that serious. But I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why are there dining room chairs in my bedroom? So I walk out into the living room, and like before I can even get my words out, I'm like, why on earth? Like Gino's head spins around like the chick from The Exorcist. And he's like, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to like that. And I was like, who the fuck do you think you're talking to? So now we're just like screaming at each other. The other two idiots, Perry and Todd, are just sitting there in silence. Gino and I are yelling, and I hear some nonsense about like the cats were gonna ruin the chairs. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, who puts dining room chair? That's not a solution. You don't put dining room chairs in a bedroom. We're just gonna do that for the rest of eternity. Like, no.
Yeah,
what
like
the
during
fuck?
the day. Or what is that solution? Like it was just that
I don't know.
all the time?
I I don't know. I don't even think we got that far because we're just like screaming at each other, calling each other names. Like it happened so quickly and escalated so quickly that I don't know. And when I talked to Gino about it, he doesn't know either. Like
It's almost like he knew he was expecting that reaction from you, so he like was ready to hop
yeah.
in there as quickly as you, like, 'cause you said like 3 words or
Yeah,
something.
and also, like, we're in a house, you can't hear me stomping, and I don't stomp anyway, I walk very light-footed, but it's like, there's no way he knew I was coming out there so hot,
Mhm.
unless he knew it was something you don't do. So, chaos is, like, happening, and I'm, like, so fucking fed up that I, like, storm out of the house, like, slam the door shut.
Mhm.
Perry decides all of a sudden now's the time to like intervene. Like these idiots just sat there letting this happen. Nobody's trying to mediate or like calm the situation down. So now Perry follows me outside
Is
and
Perry the one you were dating?
yes,
Okay.
follows me outside and is trying to calm me down. I'm like, get the fuck away from me. You guys don't know how to respect people's stuff. If this is your
Mm.
solution, you're all idiots. Like, I'm so unhinged at this point, and it's so dumb. Like, when I talk about it, it's so stupid, but
That you got triggered so bad.
so hard. Well, it's like, if you're gonna make me uncomfortable, then, like, fuck you.
Yeah. Wait, so hold on. Why did they put them in your room? Like, because they were your chairs?
Probably.
They never said like why couldn't they put them in their own room?
I don't have the answer
Mhm.
to that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I tell Perry to fuck off, like, get away from me. I'm so mad. He leaves. And I am like stewing in my car and I call my friend who was also my boss at the time. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what are you doing tomorrow? And he's like, nothing. I'm like, I need you to bring your truck over here. I need to move some furniture. And he's like, okay, sure.
Ah.
Everybody's at work. Nobody's home. My friend comes over and we start loading up the dining room chairs and the table. And I ask him, like, can I store this at your warehouse? And he's like, sure, like, that's fine. But then I
Uh-huh.
start like looking around the house and I'm like, all of this shit is mine. All of this stuff that brings comfort to a home is mine. And if these fucking idiots don't know how to respect this stuff, they can play video games sitting on the fucking floor. So we load up the sofa. We load up the armchair. I think there was a coffee table. There was a rug.
No
I was like,
way.
anything that's mine that's going to give comfort to them is out of here.
No way.
So I just look, I mean, my room's comfortable. Like, I have good lighting. I have a good bed, so I know I'm going to be comfortable. I don't play video games.
Yeah.
So I took everything out
And
of
where
the
and
house.
you just put it in his
I put
warehouse
it in his warehouse for like a month and a half
just to prove a point?
just to prove a fucking point. And like nobody said anything.
They didn't?
No. And it's like funny because it's like it's not funny, it's crazy, but it's like they made me uncomfortable. So I was like, I'm gonna make all of you uncomfortable. Like, if you don't know how to respect people's stuff, or at like oh, your cat's gonna ruin the chairs, fucking file their nails. Like, do something
A different solution than touch my goddamn chairs,
and
bitch.
put them in my room. They don't belong there.
First of all, whose cats are these?
Gino's.
Did he didn't want them ruining your chairs, right?
Yeah, which I'm like, I can appreciate. Like, in retrospect, I like appreciate the sentiment.
Secondly, were you living with Perry in the room, or you guys all were just you all had your own separate rooms?
No, we were living together, I think.
And so was he like, oh, just put them in my room so your cats don't scratch them up? Like, did he have anything to do with it?
I don't know.
She was like, I didn't find anything out. I didn't get any extra details. I just called up the moving van and I got my shit out there.
Pretty much.
You want to put my shit in my room? Guess what? It's going 20 miles down the road.
Yeah. Like,
Oh my God.
crazy behavior. And it's weird because, like, you're asking me all the right questions. Like, how's everyone feeling about this? Like, why did it happen? I don't know. And like Gino and I love telling this story because I think it almost like it's like a flex. Like, I'm not going to physically hurt you. I've been in like fights, but it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to physically hurt you, but I am going to like play some like psychological warfare kind of stuff. Like, I am really nice and sweet, but I'm fucking crazy. So
Wait, so they don't say anything.
no, and I start noticing things in the kitchen that I would like normally use that aren't mine are
Oh.
like now not accessible
They
to
were
me.
playing it back.
Well, Gino was. Nobody
Yeah.
else fucking cared. I mean,
And Perry never said anything to you about this. Like, hey, hun.
I think he did, but I was also so feral at the time that I was like, I don't fucking talk to me about it because he would bring it up and I would just like freak out. Well, like you should have done something and you didn't. So tough shit. Now you have to suffer. You're all suffering.
And did you like these cats?
I loved them.
Okay. So you took away their scratching posts as well.
Yeah, I just like made everyone in the house as uncomfortable as possible. And I started it, it had its effects on me. Nobody's talking to each
Yeah.
other.
And you don't have a dining room table to eat food. So you were just eating in your room.
Yeah.
And you didn't have utensils to cook your food. And you weren't using the common living room at all.
No.
But you weren't before too? Or
Not really. Like
they were always just playing their damn
like
video
we would
games?
be out there and watching movie. I don't watch TV. I haven't owned a TV in years. I don't play video games. Like I'll watch like RuPaul's Drag Race on my laptop.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to watch something, it'll just be on my laptop, like in the comfort of my bed.
On a TV. I watch on my laptop. That's it.
Yeah. So like the living room meant nothing to me, but it meant everything to them.
And so would they play video games sitting on the ground?
No, everyone just went to playing video games on their computers at that time. I think nobody wanted to like cross paths or like run into each other.
And were the three of them on an okay page with one another? Or were their sides being taken?
I think everyone was okay with each other except for me and Gino. Like we were like fucking very stubborn. Yeah, we were not going to budge.
Neither one of you wanted to apologize.
No, and you know what's funny is I don't think we ever did apologize to each other. It was like one day we were both home alone and like made our way into the living room at the same time and like just like looked around and started laughing. Like how fucking chaotic is this? And like we talked about it and like laughed. And we're like, look at how we've been living and these idiots, like nobody did anything. Like Gino blames them too.
Wait, why?
Like when we talk about it, he's like, it was probably their fault.
You guys just team up with each other and then you just make another enemy. You're like, it was them.
Well, pretty much. And like at the end of the day, I think we all needed to see that crazy because Gino and I are the only ones who talk to each other out of that group now. Like there's no relationship elsewhere. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. We both needed to get that out of our system, I guess.
You needed some kind of a disagreement?
No, I just think we needed to like prove that we're insane. Like, and that we could match each other's insane and like accept it. Where I think other people were like, ew.
Too much.
Yeah.
This is too much. So then after you guys had a good old laugh about this craziness, you then just called up your friend and was like, it's time. Bring it on back.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, hey, when's the next time you're available? I'm going to move this couch back.
Now, did you like buy your friend a meal for helping out, or did you give him a little gas money? Or
I love him because he does not ask questions. He was just so down to like
he didn't need the tea at all.
And I think I told him because I'm like,
yeah, you were venting. I'm
venting and like, ha ha ha, like how funny am I? But he was just like, sure, whatever you want.
Whatever you want. You should have lived with him. Now, to these cats, did they ever scratch up the couch?
No.
But they were just going for these chairs.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them?
2.
And were they normally like menaces at all?
No.
Would it have been better if he had just put the chairs in his room?
No, I think I still would have flipped the fuck out.
Oh, because you just didn't want him touching your chairs.
Well, no, it's not that I didn't want him touching my chairs. It's like I have a design mindset, you know, like I'm bringing in furniture into the space to like make it look nice.
Mhm.
So I'm like, so everything should go where it's supposed to go. It was more of like you're disrespecting the vibe.
design.
Yeah.
Well, you know I'm an artiste.
Well, like, and I'm like, I'm bringing in this like beautiful furniture. Like it should. I lived with fucking 3 dudes. It's like they don't
you
give
were
a
the
fuck.
one.
I was like, I just want this
They didn't
place
even
to look
notice when the
nice.
furniture was gone.
Yeah, they just went to their rooms.
But I feel like if I mean, obviously you were triggered immediately and like there was no talking sense into you, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he were to be like, oh, well, I wanted to put them away so my cats wouldn't scratch them up. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I feel like that's thoughtful of you because
Yeah.
you don't want them to be ruined. And I just bought them and they're really nice.
Yeah.
But
I think
that
there would
didn't
have
cross
been
your mind
No. It didn't. I think it's because like when I went to go confront him and ask questions,
that he was just immediately
like, who the fuck are you talking to? And I was like, whoa, like I turned into a fucking cat. Like my hair's standing straight up and like I'm like the scary cat now.
with a cigarette hanging out of her mouth. If you go
Fuck.
on YouTube, she's wearing the best sweater bag
This is my vibe.
with a cartoon cat smoking.
Yeah. Lazy Oaf. If you ever want to buy some weird clothes, they're great. Sponsor me. Dress me.
Sponsor us. Wow, that is a kooky story.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like I've had a lot of petty situations, but it's like that was like my next level.
I love it. I wish I could engage with that side of my brain. I feel like I'm usually the bigger person.
Well, I will say shout out to my therapist. I'm so much better now. I know
Yeah.
how to like self-regulate and like calm down and just act like a person. So,
Shout out.
yeah.
Therapy.
Everybody should have a therapist.
Were the cats the only animals, or did you have Amelie at that time, her dog?
She did come to that house eventually, but I'm not sure that she was there yet for that story.
And did they cohabitate well, those cats and the dog?
Yeah, for the most part. I think they were afraid of her, but that she was the chillest dog ever.
Yeah.
So she did not care.
Right.
Yeah, she wasn't going to instigate anything.
Mm-mm.
Crazy story, right? Wild behavior.
Yeah, crazy. I'm trying to think. Whose side am I on? Don't really want to say it when you're sitting right next to me, but 'cause I'm scared you're going to throw my equipment off of the building.
You're going to go to the bathroom and everything will be gone by the time you get back.
Move it
I'm
all
a different
out.
person. I've grown a lot. I'm really nice and sweet and not mean at all.
At all, you guys.
Ever.
Okay, take her word for it.
Promise.
Well, I think that the best solution would have been he put them in his own room. I mean, I guess you're saying you still would have been upset. But I think that you just not finding them in your room, or maybe if he texted you, hey, I'm just going to put them in the room because the cats are scratching on them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe his cats were in his room a lot, though.
I think the text, a conversation would have been helpful.
Yeah.
His reaction to my reaction.
Mm-hmm.
We all could have just been better. I think that's why when we finally decided to talk to each other, it was so funny. Like we're just like laughing instead of apologizing, because I think we both knew we were
Being
insane
crazy.
And kind of like, how long can we do this for?
Yeah.
How long can I keep a straight face? Basically.
You guys are like kind of playing a game of chicken.
Yeah.
and just made all of your lives a living hell for a month and a half.
Which is funny because it probably was only making Perry and Todd's life a living hell. Like, I
Yeah.
think he and I were just fine.
Yes. Well, the stakes were higher for you guys. So you were like, oh, this is as bad as I have it. That ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Waterboard me, and then we'll see if I crack.
I think the other two were like
Okey-dokey.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude. They had it coming.
I can't believe that they never said anything. Like, if I was the other roommates, I'd be like, okay, guys, we need to sit down and talk this out because we need our furniture.
Yeah. They're both very passive people. Gino and I are strong personalities in like two very different ways.
They didn't want to cross you guys.
Probably not. They were like, if this could happen, who knows what else could like just go missing.
Our bodies next.
Yeah, open the fridge and one of us is stuffed in there. Like
The cats are in the freezer.
oh no, I would never. The cats are the most innocent in this whole story. I'm mad at
They were
everyone.
the antagonists from the start.
Yeah, but I'm mad at everyone else way more than the cats.
Yeah, that's just human nature for them, you know?
Yeah, they're just doing what their
Cat nature,
instincts
if you
tell
will.
them. If your instincts are to like let two people scream at each other about the dumbest shit ever, then I'm mad at you.
Oh, Todd and Bear, you mean? I was
Yeah.
talking about the cats.
No.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about the pets in your life. You got a lot of pets.
I have a lot of pets.
Name
I have
'em.
like a pet.
Name them.
Well, currently I have a dog named Bo, a cat named Goose, and two cockatiels, Sunday and Fudge. They're the best. The birds are probably my.
I had cockatiels growing up.
Did you?
Yeah, yellow ones.
They're little sky puppies.
They really are.
Yeah.
They were named Lucky and Louie.
Oh.
And then we also had they're like a form of a parrot, I feel like a green, smaller, bigger than cockatiels.
Oh, a
but
conure?
maybe. And his name was Cuculala.
Oh,
Isn't that cute?
I love birds.
And our next door neighbors had a lot of animals too because their mom worked at the zoo, the Philadelphia Zoo. I've talked about these guys before where we lived right next door to each other. So it was basically like we just had like two houses because the doors were always open. And so they would have crazy things like raccoons, squirrels,
yes.
chickens, like a bunch of different reptiles, 3 huge dogs, a bunch of cats. And then we had a dog, a bunch of cats too, that would like die a lot.
Oh, no.
A lot of them were outdoor cats. Like the only one that survived for like 13 years was the indoor one. Because the other ones were always just coming in and out and like getting hit by carts or running away.
Oh, shit.
We're like probably adopted by other families and we didn't even know it, you know?
Fair.
And then we had like rabbits. I had turtles. My turtle ran away. It got a head start.
Like a tortoise or a turtle?
A boxer.
Oh, cute.
Turtle, yeah, a little one. But we were on vacation and some kids like came and threw a brick at our fence. We had a pond in our backyard. So we weren't like running after like
yeah, he was gone.
Speed racer. I think that's it. So I had a lot of animals growing up.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that I don't have any interest in them anymore.
I mean, my dog right now makes me not want to have animals.
Yeah, tell me about him.
He's so sweet and all he wants is just like love and affection.
What kind?
He's a pointer, just like
yeah.
my baby Amelie.
Yeah, mine was a Jet was his name growing up, was a lab pointer mix.
They're the best dogs, but man, they require a lot. And I just was so bamboozled with Amelie. That dog was so chill and so like, if I talk about her too much, I will cry. But like the best dog ever.
Yeah.
And like Bo, I got him during the strikes. I was so depressed that I was like begging my neighbor to let me walk their dog. And I was like, if I just get a dog will make me go outside and I'll feel less anxious.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing about she's talking about like the writers and the actors strike that happened in 2023. And then like it's like it's not happening anymore, but it basically still is like the times are just so tough.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was particularly very hard for people that were like the crew.
Yeah.
Essentially, like cast actors, we're used to the ones that aren't on TV shows. We're used to like having separate jobs that give us income. Like so many of us have waitressing jobs and, you know, temp jobs, things like that. But for the crew, I mean, that was your guys' like income. That was how you
Yeah.
guys were making money. So for them, so many people that I knew on crew like either had to like move home.
Yeah.
It was just like it dried up.
I lost my mind because you go from working 60 hours a week and you're just always moving, you're always with people, and then you're like alone was crazy work. I
Yeah.
like could not operate, I couldn't function. That's when I started teaching,
Yeah.
but I'm not credentialed, so I can't like teach full time. So I was just like home by myself, going insane.
And your doggo, but he has a lot of anxiety, doesn't he?
Yeah, he definitely does. He has a lot of energy. The breed has a lot of energy, and people are always like, "Well, that's what you signed up for." And I'm like, "Look, I know. I've had two at this point, Augie and Like,
Yeah.
Augie was like raised by Amelie, so he was like learning from the best. He was also insane, but like
Yeah.
he was
He knew how to be
way more
chill.
chill. Bo is like, I don't know what I'm being punished for, but that dog is punishing me for something. And he's crazy, he's riddled with anxiety, he just wants to be, like, touched. If you were to come over, it's not like he's excited to see you and then he's gonna go lay down. He's, like, excited to see you the whole time you're there. He wants you to play with him, he wants to show you all of his toys, he wants to, like, lay on you, and he's really bony. It's like, I've never had an animal abuse me so much
Yeah.
because he's just, like, always on me.
Damn. So
Um
well, probably because you were around him a lot in the beginning. So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
probably extremely attached, right?
Yeah, and he just has so much energy. I love him so much, but I'm like, "Wow, if I ever get a dog again, I want them to be, like, already halfway to death and, like, just want to, like, chill with their
Yeah.
owner."
I know Max
A
and I in the
puppy.
past have thought about adopting a dog that's later in life.
Mhm.
So then you don't like you're not committing to like sometimes 20 years with
Yeah.
some breeds, but I think it would just be like kind of heartbreaking and honestly just where we're at in our lives, it's just every day I'm doing something different. It would just be too hard to find care for the dog.
It
We just can't give a dog a good life right now. We don't
Yeah.
have a backyard. We are just always all over the place. So,
It's like having a kid
yeah,
because
that
when I
never
was
grows up
Yeah, when I
and then
was
dies.
I know, dies before you. That's why I got birds because I was like, "These motherfuckers will live for, like,
Nice.
25 years." To be honest, I don't wanna make it that long, so we're good. Like, shit. I hope these guys outlive me, but
Natasha, stop.
that's just my humor for you listeners.
All right, now, do you let your dog sleep in bed with you?
No. Well, not anymore.
What happened? Oh, he too bony?
Fuck. It's like I have the most I'm a ball of anxiety. I was born anxious.
Same.
I need the people around me to be
Chill.
chill, which isn't true. All my friends are crazy and like fun, but
Yeah.
it's like I need peace. And the dog used to sleep in the bed with me. Like all my pets used to sleep in the bed with me. But it's like my dog and my cat are both so particular about how they have to sleep. Like Bo has to be under the covers and he has to be like in between my legs. And if I move
Oh my
even a
God.
little bit, he has to get up and readjust. And now if the cat gets up and he feels the cat on the bed, he has to come out and like see what the cat's doing. And then the cat's being fucking annoying. The cat has attachment issues to me where it's like
Wow.
he's constantly licking me, which is sandpaper tongue.
Oh, yeah.
And he has to like, do the make biscuits and just he's sharp and I don't
Yeah.
know how to clip his nails myself. And it's like
Too much.
it's so much when I'm just trying to sleep that those motherfuckers do not sleep in the bed. They can't.
Did Amelie and Augie sleep with you?
Yes.
Yeah, because they were more behaved.
Yes.
Well, I did a poll on Instagram and it was, do you let your pet sleep in bed with you? 71% said yes, 14% said no, and 16% said sometimes. So I asked them to DM me if they said sometimes, and here are some of the reasons. Sometimes they are annoying and I kick them out. Like when I'm feeling overstimulated, their licking themselves can be a lot, or one of my cats starts kneading his face the closer it gets to breakfast. Oh yeah, that licking noise will give me the worst misophonia ever. When they're
I
like
don't even know
licking
what
their balls.
misophonia
Oh,
is.
it's like when noises like make you cringe.
Oh,
Like, when you like hear someone drinking, you don't ever get that.
no.
Oh my God, the licking of the like crotch for dogs kills me.
Well, yeah, I think
Because I'm like, there's like something like weirdly like sexual about it because they're like licking their crotch. And I know they're just cleaning,
yeah.
but it's very inappropriate.
Well, yeah, and then they like come and lick your fucking face.
Exactly. And then someone else says here about how they put a special blanket down when the dog is sleeping. So then they don't have to have it on the pillows and their comforters and things like that. I agree with that. Someone said their cat is allowed, but their huge dog isn't. Oh my God, someone here says here sometimes because one of my cats doesn't know how to clean their butt, so it gets bad. And then when they sit, they leave stains on my bed.
I would freak the fuck out. And that's something I think about. Like everything that these people are saying, I think about when you take your dog on a walk and then your dog fucking gets on your bed and it's like, the city is gross.
Oh, I know.
But then I'm like, also, like, I just love them so much.
Yeah, I think that's the like push and pull. When I have to watch my parents' dog, I'll like wipe off his paws. But it's like, is that even really doing anything?
I think it is. It's doing, it's more than not.
Yeah.
My dad and my stepmom, so like my dad's very Persian, my stepmom's very Chinese, and it's like no shoes in the house. Their dog is so their pet because when she comes back from a walk, she like sits outside and like raises her paws to be wiped down.
Oh,
Like
she
knows. And for me, I'm like, fuck, I wish if I tried doing that with Bo, he'd be like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then he'd go like find a mud puddle and then roll around on the couch or something. I swear to God, there's no respect. Yeah. He's petty.
Well, like mother, like son.
Damn, too bad.
Too bad.
We're dealing with what we can. I don't want to have pets anymore.
Yeah, after that. Well, these birds are going to live till what?
I don't.
Longer than you say?
Thank God. Here's to hoping.
Well, yeah, you got a long time.
I know.
These are new animals.
I know. I think that's like the sad girl in me. You know, it's like when I'm sad, I'm like, I want a new baby to play with. I need to just like go buy fucking squishmallows or something. Yeah. Like, what's wrong with me?
Or you just need to make friends with people who like
that you
can go play with their dogs.
I know, true.
You know, and then you hand them back.
Stuck with this idiot for
another
like
15 years.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll be fine.
Well, I think with age he'll calm down a little bit.
From your lips to Rihanna's ears.
I love that. Wait, and then my one friend says, if you don't let them sleep on your bed, you're a sociopath.
I get it.
I'm like, well, call me Ted Bundy, baby, because they are going nowhere near my bed.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get into our first petty pet story. My 27F wedding is coming up in a few months, and it's supposed to be a big, elegant affair. My fiance, 29M, and I have been planning it for over a year, and we've spared no expense. The venue we chose is stunning, but also very strict on rules, particularly regarding pets, due to its historical nature. They've made it clear that no animals are allowed on the property except for legitimate service animals. Here's where the issue comes in. My sister, 25F, has severe anxiety and a psychiatric service dog, a golden retriever named Max. The thing is, I've been waiting for this day my whole life and don't want anything to go wrong. I'm worried that even though Max is a service dog, he could still cause some sort of issue or be a distraction. Also, I don't want to start a fight with the venue that could risk our deposit or the entire booking. So I told her that while I would love to have her at my wedding, I can't have Max there. I offered to arrange transportation and a pet sitter for Max nearby so she could check on him whenever she wanted. But she said that wouldn't work because she needs him with her at all times. She then said that if Max couldn't come, that she wouldn't be able to attend, and now she's not speaking to me. My parents are furious and think I'm being heartless. They said I should be willing to do anything to have my sister there on my special day. Some of my friends agree, while others think my sister is being unreasonable for putting me in this position.
I feel like a little bitter about weddings anyway, where I'm like, fuck the wedding. Like,
Natasha is a divorcee.
Proud.
I was at her wedding in 2018.
Yep.
It's a fun wedding.
It was a blast.
Let's start with the bride's side.
Yeah.
I get it. You've been dreaming about this day your whole life, yada, yada, yada. People put way too much pressure on one day, first of
Yeah.
all, but that's a whole other
Agreed.
episode. She spared no expense, as she says. So she's, they're probably like breaking the bank for this special day. And so they don't want, dogs can be, I mean, you can't control them all the time.
Yeah.
And so they could be like running around and stuff. But I feel like service dogs are really well trained, right?
Yeah, if they're legit. Like, I feel
Yeah.
like people do just say, like, this is my
Service
service
dog.
dog. And I understand the anxiety part of it. But, like, if it's not like an actual trained service dog, there's a lot of
True.
potential for shit to go nuts. So maybe that's what the sister knows.
Maybe. That's a good point. It does say that she has severe anxiety and a psychiatric service dog, but I don't know if that makes it any more legit. I know there are some service dogs that are like, I've seen some of these videos online that are crazy where they can tell when someone's about to like faint.
Yeah.
And they know how to, there's like a pulley on the fridge for them to they'll get her a water bottle.
Oh, I saw that
You
dog.
saw that one?
He's so cute.
And then he got the medicine off of the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, those I think are very well behaved. But sometimes, like you were saying, I do feel like there are certain situations where people do say it's like for anxiety, but it's just like, and I get that. Like, I understand that
Yeah.
you want to have your animal by your side because you do have social anxiety. But is it actually a trained dog, or is it just the dog to bring you comfort?
Well, and I feel like you would know about your sibling's service animal. Like, I pretty much know all about all my friends' dogs. Like, I know how their dogs behave. Like, my mind first goes to like, this is a historical site, and I am like such a sucker for like history and all of that. So it's like, yeah, I want to protect the historical site. I want to respect that part of it. So for me, I feel like the sister, the bride, knows something that she's not completely being honest about, because if you know your sibling's service animal and they are trained and they are good, like,
Yeah,
it's
so
not going to be
what would
worried.
the
They
issue
allow
be?
it. Yeah. First of all, it's like illegal to tell somebody they can't bring their service animal. You know
That's
what I
true.
mean? So it's like either the sister knows that this dog is like not behaved and is using that knowledge and saying that, like, this is why I don't want your dog to come.
I almost feel like she'd mention that though, don't you? Like, I always feel like whenever anyone's writing these things out, they want to give every single point that would be on their side.
Yeah, true.
So that's why I almost feel like she'd be like, and by the way, this dog is a fucking nightmare.
So then the bride is wrong.
Yeah.
So the bride is being a bitch. You
And
can't
we're trying
do
to give her the
that.
benefit of the doubt, but it's like, it literally says they're allowed on property as a legitimate service dog. Like, your argument would make perfect sense if there was no dogs allowed, and then your sister's being like, "Well, sorry, I'm not going then."
Yeah, like if it was the excuse to be like, this dog is horrible and it's not a legit, like, then I would be offering all of those extra amenities to try to like soften the blow of like, hey, your dog's not coming. But
Yeah.
if the dog's legit.
But also now with the sister, I actually do think that the bride did, as far as if her thing is like really like, I do not want this dog here, like no exceptions. The fact that she offered to have the dog have a sitter that's very close, that she could go and check in on him. Oh, we're an idiot. It literally says right here, Max is highly trained and well behaved, but he's still a dog, and the venue isn't willing to make any exceptions.
Oh, she's out then. The venue is willing to make an exception for service animals.
Yes.
So she's like,
yeah, what is she saying? And if the venue isn't willing to make any, then this is what you need to have done, babes. You needed to have lied to your family. I don't condone lying, but a little lie every now and then.
yeah.
Tell them the venue does not accept dogs. And then if they call, then be like, not for weddings, not for big venue events.
Or if they call, they can fucking sue. Truly, you can't turn down a legitimate service animal.
Oh, that's true. That's
it's
true.
against the law.
Oh,
You're
so
like
then I guess
being
that lie wouldn't.
It wouldn't work, but at least you're putting it on them, you know.
Yeah, be like, well, that's what they told me.
Yeah.
And then just be like, I think it was an intern that told me.
Yeah.
His name was Perry or Todd. I'm not sure.
The venue's like, we have interns? Like, holy shit. Why aren't we using them more often?
Finishing my thought a second ago was just the fact that she gave other options, that she was willing to pay for the dog to
Yeah.
be elsewhere. If it really is going to be a distraction for you, but if it's well behaved and well trained,
It's like,
what
do
is
you
the
want the
problem?
dog to do its job or do you want your sister to have like a fucking meltdown?
Oh,
What's going to be
true.
worse? She's going to have an anxiety attack. She's going to have a fucking meltdown. And then, like, you don't want the dog there because it sounds like you just don't want the
Just
dog there.
aesthetically,
But
it's
you,
not
like, are
aesthetically
down with your,
pleasing.
like, sister having a fucking
Panic
meltdown and
attack.
or your parents now being pissed at you and everyone's mad. It's like
Well, that's the other thing.
there's something, like, missing.
There's already so much drama.
Yeah.
This is already not worth it.
Not at all. Just, like, sit your sister in the back with the dog. Like, what? You don't want it in your pictures or something? I don't even understand. It would make it so much cuter.
That's true. I know. Take the little vest off if it doesn't match. Get him a little cute little tuxedo.
Yeah, put some flowers on it.
Yeah, incorporate them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if her sister's in the bridal party or if she's having bridesmaids or anything, but yeah, she could like walk down with her. That'd be so cute. People love that shit.
People just chomp that up. Your pictures are
Mhm.
going to be excellent.
And especially that like that dog, if he is a legitimate service dog, it sounds like he is. He knows he's there for a job. Like he's
Yeah.
on duty. He's not going to be like running around and trying to get on the dance floor.
Yeah.
He's probably just going to stay by your sister, who I guarantee probably isn't going to be on the dance floor anyway if she really does have this severe of an anxiety
Yeah.
disorder. And again, if she's going to be standing up there on the altar with you or walking down the aisle, oh my God, that's going to be terrifying for her. It's terrifying for me, and I'm a performer.
Yeah.
I hate walking down like the aisle. I hated that. When I was at my friend's wedding, I'm like smiling and I'm just like, just get through this, just get through this. It's so awkward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Someone says, I hope none of your family shows up for your wedding. See
Damn.
how perfect the day is when half is empty.
Shit.
Opie responds saying, if my guest list ends up a little lighter, then that's just fewer people I have to deal with. My day will still be perfect because it's about me and my future, not about catering to everyone else's opinions. If someone doesn't want to be there, then they're not worth having in my life anyway.
This is a bride?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm not losing sleep over it and definitely won't let anyone ruin my day. So keep hoping for my downfall. Meanwhile, I'll be walking down the aisle unbothered.
Then why are you asking for people's opinions if
Who
you're going to be so
cares?
unbothered?
Sounds like you are bothered.
She sounds like a nightmare person.
Yes, she's very
You don't know these people, do
self-centered.
you?
No.
Okay, thank God. They're like, this bitch, get her off the couch.
And she's also not saying like this is our day. It's about our future.
Yeah,
Me and
weird.
my day. She's one of those brides that is just like, and I mean, the day is about the bride at the end of the day, but it should be about your love. Otherwise, just throw a birthday party or something.
Girl, weddings are just a contract between you, your partner, and the government. How do I know this? Because getting out of that contract costs money and is hard.
Oof.
That's how I look at it. Just throw a fucking party.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know.
I'm
Well,
not
girl,
bitter.
I gotta. Divorce sounds awful.
Mm-hmm.
And you were a child of one too.
I am a child of divorce. Yeah.
Well, there's an update.
Oh, shit. She
Oh,
got
yeah.
divorced.
First off, it's like a year later. No. First off, yes, I was pretty harsh in my responses to some of the comments. I won't apologize for defending myself, but I do realize that I might have come off more aggressively than I intended. Planning a wedding is stressful, and I let that get the better of me. However, that doesn't change how I feel about the situation with my sister and her service dog. After thinking it over and talking with my fiance, we decided to stick with our original plan. My sister has been informed that if she wants to attend the wedding, she needs to do so without the dog. It wasn't an easy conversation, and as expected, she wasn't happy about it. My parents are upset, and a few family members have even threatened to boycott the wedding. But honestly, I'm okay with that. It's our day, and we've made a decision that we believe is best for us. I understand that a lot of people think I'm being unreasonable or selfish, but at the end of the day, this is my wedding. I'm not going to let anyone else dictate how it should go. If that means some people don't show up or others think I'm a bridezilla, then so be it. I'd rather have a smaller, more comfortable event than one where I'm stressed out and worrying about things going wrong. To those who were supportive and offered constructive advice, thank you. And to everyone else who thinks I'm a terrible person, well, I guess we'll have to agree to disagree.
Okay.
Well, that's the other thing is like, I just cannot imagine, because my brain doesn't work this way. I truly can't imagine having a good time after I've made this much drama.
No, and over something that is so unimportant. If she thinks that she would be only focused on the dog the whole wedding, she does not understand what she's in for on that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about anything. You're starving. All you want to do is eat, and you don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
You're drunk. If your photographer's annoying, you're taking pictures. Like, I don't know why she
Yeah, there's
thinks this
no,
dog is like the thing.
it's going to ruin it.
But you know what? Enjoy your wedding. Chase your bliss, girl.
Well, when I used to cater, be like a cater waiter at weddings a lot, I wanted to start a coffee table book of the bride and groom's table with their uneaten food. At the end of the night, I would always take a picture because it was always two just giant full plates of food because they never eat
So true.
ever.
Yeah.
I would always go by and be like, yep, they didn't eat again.
No, they can't. They're being pulled in a million different directions. That's why to me, this is a very unreasonable thing.
And I would do anything to have my sister there. Like,
Yeah.
why would you not want your sister there? It
Yeah.
doesn't make any. I mean, clearly they don't really get along that well. Like,
Yeah,
they must not be that close.
Yeah, because there's no way I would not let my sister be there. I know you're super close with your sister. But also, I understand people who don't have good relationships with their siblings.
Totally.
But then this wouldn't be a big deal, I don't think. It feels like a big deal to her because
And she's pretending like it's not.
Yeah.
But she's just so wrapped up in her own emotions. But again, I don't feel like you will actually have a good time
Yeah.
at the wedding if so many people are boycotting it. So many people are like annoyed with you or judging you. Oh my, I would cancel the whole thing. I would
Well-
literally be so in my head. I'd be like, it's off.
Well, and like you said, it's so much pressure on a day already. People already do
Mhm.
that without this like family drama.
Yeah.
Man, not worth it.
Well, because then it's like, it better be the absolute best day of your life, or like, because the next day you go back to your regular life and then you have to deal with the fallout of your family.
And I feel like I've talked to people who are like, yeah, my wedding was fun, but I thought it was going to be like more fun. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There are people who like didn't have that experience that they thought they were going to.
No, I'm sure that happens so often.
Yeah.
That's why so many people these days are doing weddings so unconventionally now,
Yeah.
because they're realizing that. And it's just like they're getting married quicker. So it's like not as long of that like build up for an entire year. They're having
Yeah.
smaller, they're not doing wedding parties. And I think some people are like judging people about that, but it's like, it makes sense because otherwise you're putting just way too much pressure on this. And I know myself, I would be so stressed.
Yeah.
And I would put so much pressure on myself. I don't like my birthday because of that.
Yeah.
I put so much pressure on myself to like have fun and hear from everyone I love. And then if I don't, and then I get upset, and I'm like, it's so like when I was on the cruise, I like didn't have a fun day that day. And I was like, I know that this day would have been so much fun if it wasn't my birthday.
Yeah.
Because I felt like it was so much pressure, but because I was so stuck in my head, like waiting to hear from everyone, and oh my gosh, I need to be having fun, and oh, I gotta, am I gonna have a candle tonight? Like there was just so much, like it was so stupid. I'm like, I'm just not even gonna celebrate my birthday anymore.
I know. I feel the older I get, the more I'm like, let's just not. I went
Yeah,
to a pottery
exactly.
throwing class because I was like, I have so much anxiety surrounding this that like I want everyone to be doing something so that they don't have to
Focus
talk to
on
me.
Yeah.
And like I don't have to entertain them. I don't have to be on. And
Mhm.
like I'm doing art, which is all I love. So it was like very
It's
much like,
perfect.
how do I find more activities where I don't have to interact with the people I love, but we can
Yeah.
all just be in each other's space?
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I do like a birthday party that I had a couple years ago where it's like just chill. Everyone just shows up at a bar and like there's no pressure really.
Yeah,
And
that was so
everyone's just
fun
like,
too.
and to me that was it's just so much more relaxed.
Yeah, people come and go as they please, and there's you're not entertaining. And
No. My friends Tess and Claire, Right Answers Mostly podcast that I just had on. Tess just got married. Congratulations.
congrats.
They did a wedding episode talking about what to do and what not to do. They were saying how like when you're the bride, you shouldn't be the host. You should be the guest of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved that because I think I always thought of it as you're hosting, but it's like, no, you are the guest of honor.
Yeah.
Hopefully on that day you already have your ducks in a row and everything so that you don't have to be like, is everyone having a good time kind of thing?
I mean, I was kind of like a brat in that way where I was like, I'm not going to every table and thanking people for coming. Like, if
Yeah.
you want to talk to me, I
Find
told
me on
my
the dance
photographer
floor.
I'm not doing like, you get me for 30 minutes afterwards. Like, if you want to be around me, you better come dance with me. That's like
Yes.
it. I don't think I left the dance floor once I was on it. But yeah, I agree. You should not be hosting your wedding.
No, and that's why like party planners and stuff are like the best. All right, so who do we think is being petty?
Oh, the
The
bride.
bride.
I thought we were on to the next story. I moved. That bride lost me.
Yeah. Next segment is 2 sides to every pancake. All right. Should my girlfriend stop giving our kitten so much attention? Okay, so this segment is we hear both sides of the story. So
Okay.
first we're going to start with Sirius's side. Just over a week ago, my girlfriend Polly and I found a kitten abandoned on the roadside, so decided to take it in. It was about 4 weeks old and we've named it Tegus. While I'm loving looking at Tegus, I'm also keen to protect our lives as a couple. In order to do that, Polly and I tried to set some boundaries with Tegus, but I'm clearly better at it than her. I'm more pragmatic, more cold. My approach is give love at one point, be distant another. I want to put the kitten in her cage, we call it a casa, for 3 to 4 hours during the day and all night while we sleep. Polly is more anxious. We're supposed to let Tegus out of her casa at 7 a.m., but Polly will hear her whining at 5:30 a.m. and get up. But then she makes me go out to look after the cat. Polly gets all of the cat love in this new relationship, but I feel like I'm doing more of the work. Well, I want Polly's attention and to preserve the romance in our relationship, but I can feel this other thing seeping in, and that thing is the cat. We recently had a romantic weekend away and bought a huge pack of condoms for it, but ended up not using any because that was the weekend we found the cat. Tegus wandered over to us when we were on our way there, and then the whole weekend was just about her. Polly doesn't want to have sex whenever there's someone within 50 meters of us, as the walls in our house are thin. But now the cat is always within 2 meters of us, so it's affecting our love life. I actually don't know if we will ever have sex again. Sometimes I will go on the balcony with Tegus, and Polly will get really angry. She feels it isn't safe, but I hold Tegus really carefully. The less concerned I am, the more concerned Polly becomes. It's a push and pull. This cat is going to stress her out for 20 years unless she learns to relax. Don't think she needs to be so highly strung. We can't put our lives on hold for this little cat.
First of all, I'm a dumb American. I don't know what fucking 2 meters is. How close is that?
So I think meters is 3 feet. 1 meter. So it like 6 feet.
Okay.
So then she doesn't want to have sex with people within 50 meters, 150 feet. That's
where does she live? A fucking farm?
She must. She must. But,
okay.
But if she lives on a farm, then she wouldn't care about the walls being thin because then no one could hear it. I mean, they must never have sex then because neighbors are right there.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, meters is far still.
I mean, I really hope I got that right or I'm going to be so embarrassed. But I'm pretty
sure.
We're
Americans, dude. We have way more serious things to be embarrassed for. Sorry, we don't know the metric system, but I'm also more embarrassed about other things.
Ain't that the fucking truth? So, yeah, I don't know
okay.
what her deal is with like, have you ever had sex with animals in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
like,
weird sometimes because I feel like they are
like
watching. Like,
but then it's like it's an audience, you know? Then I feel like you perform better because you're like, oh well, someone's watching.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Never tried it.
You're like looking at her, like seeing how they're like reacting.
How do I look back there? Does my ass look fucking awesome? Thanks.
So yeah, I don't know why the hell a cat being close by would matter. But seems like this kitten is a little baby. He sounds like a baby.
It sounds like
so.
But also, I don't like Sirius's whole vibe of like my version of affection is I'm on and then I'm off for like a couple of hours. Is that like with everything? That's weird.
That's very like hot and cold behavior. Don't you think that would confuse?
Yeah. Why is Polly so anxious? I wonder why Polly's so anxious.
It's a good point because what if he's like
Like,
that with her
yeah,
too?
exactly. I think that's such a weird thing to say. Also, I've never heard of a cat being crated before, but who am I?
Oh yeah, I don't know about
Like
that
dogs,
either.
I know, like crate training, I totally believe it 100%, but the cat is strange to me.
Yeah, the whole I'm more pragmatic, more cold. My approach is give love at one point, be distant another.
That's scary. I would never say that out loud, even if it was true.
That's
I
weird.
don't like it.
And I, like you were saying, I kind of do think that it might be playing into other
Yeah.
parts of his life too. Don't take a kitten in then.
Yeah. Get rid of the cat if you cannot be like that. First of all, cats are the easiest of
Mm.
all the animals. I mean, I have a cat that's like my little shadow, but even so, cats are so easy.
Oh yeah,
If you
so
can't
much
figure out a
easier.
cat, dude, put him in a better home.
Oh yeah, if I were to ever get an animal, it would be a cat.
Yeah.
Hopefully a chill one, but like sometimes cats are really crazy.
Just don't get an orange one. They're
Yes.
nuts.
My friend Michelle from back home, she had a cat named Benny. And then she named her son Benny, but that's another story. But actually my mom had a cat named Chelsea growing up, and then she named my sister Chelsea. So it's a theme in our lives, I
Yeah,
guess.
well, if you love your
If you love the name.
animals. I mean, my best friend growing up had a potbelly pig named Tasha, and I was like, this is weird.
Perfect. Great. I think the lesson there, it's because I don't think in both of those situations, neither one of them were naming them like after their animal because they loved
Right.
it. It's just that you should save the names you really love for humans. Like,
I
don't just go
know.
using them on your pets unless you know
I
that you don't
know.
want it for your kid later.
I don't plan on having kids, but I'm like, I am kind of mad sometimes that I named my bird
Amelie.
Sunday. No, I love Amelie,
Oh,
but I think Sunday is such a cute
that is cute.
name that I'm like, damn. Oh,
You're
well,
right.
he'll be alive if I do have kids, so
Yeah.
they'll just both be Sunday.
Both be Sunday. Sunday Junior, you could name her.
Yeah.
All right, so back to this.
Yeah, serious.
I don't like that Polly hears the whining and then makes him get up and look after the cat, though.
Yeah. How old is this
I
cat?
think
Is like
it's little.
concerning. I feel like they're talking about a dog.
Oh, 4 weeks old. Yeah.
She's a
So
baby. They're not even supposed to be separated from their
from their,
moms until they're like 8
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, maybe it just shouldn't even. I mean, I understand like hearing the whining and being like, "Oh my god, like we have to go." But I think if Polly is feeling so invested in that, I do kind of feel like, okay, then you be the one to go
Yeah.
do it. But also, yeah, might maybe keep the crate in the. I don't know how to take care of kittens actually at all, but like keep it in your room.
Yeah, I don't know. It's probably so anxious. It's so young. It needs
Mm,
maybe they should get it a heating pad. I feel like that helps.
yeah.
Because it's probably missing its mom. Those babies aren't just like sleeping by themselves when they're that little. They're like cuddled up with something.
And the fact that he's just like letting like it's a temporary thing. Like
Yeah.
sometimes things happen in relationships where it's like, okay, for this period of time we can't have sex, like because of this, that, or the other.
Also, like the I bought a giant box of condoms. What a fuck
Oh
boy
my God.
comment. First
Total
of all, if
fuck boy.
anyone was like, I just bought a giant box of condoms,
You
we're gonna
didn't
have
even
so much
touch it.
fun this week.
I
Like,
know.
ew, now we're not. I have the
Yeah,
ick.
now we're definitely not.
That girl probably saw that box of condoms come in and she was like, ugh,
I know.
I don't
She's like,
even want to fake
quick.
an orgasm. Oh, thank God a cat's here.
Great. Actually, I don't like to have sex in front of any living thing within 50 meters. So
I
the cat is here within 2, so can't have sex.
I actually
Sorry.
just like don't like having sex with you. Like that's what Polly needs to say.
Truly. Yeah, he's too wrapped up in his own shit. And it's like, okay, then maybe you should have spoken up. I mean, maybe he didn't know, but maybe speak up and be like, I don't think a cat's for me. Or maybe it's just a kitten. Maybe a kitten's not for you. But I'm sorry, you got to go through that phase to get to the cat. And also, kittens are the cutest thing on the planet, period.
Yeah, only sociopaths. Wait, who was saying your friend who was saying like if you don't
Yes.
let your dogs in the bed, you're a sociopath. If you don't like
Like a
kittens,
kitten.
that's weird.
Okay, that is psychopathic. I'll
Yeah.
say that.
Yeah, for sure. I don't like
Nothing is cuter than a kitten.
no.
And also, what are you bringing out on the balcony so it accidentally goes over?
Yeah, Mr.
Are you
I'm
pl-
hot. I'm really affectionate and then I'm like totally cold.
Are you planning this kitten's death?
He sounds
He's a sociopath.
Manipulative.
Well, let's get Polly's defense, shall we?
Yes.
We've only owned Tegus for a short while, but we've become obsessed with her and love her so much. We, really heavy on the we here. I think it might
Yeah.
just be you, babes. However, Sirius and I have already had a lot of disagreements about how best to parent her. We have different approaches. I stress over her because I want her to be happy. I don't like to hear her moaning early in the morning, so I will get up and break routine by letting her out of the cage. I'll give her a little snuggle, and then I will go back to bed and ask Sirius to look after her. Tegus sees me as the person who gives her the love, and Sirius as the disciplinarian. She has a special wine that gets me out of bed now. It's more high-pitched than her usual one. I'm just giving her the love she deserves, but Sirius says the cat is getting more love than him right now.
Ew, dude. I hope these people are not planning on having children.
Oh my God, he'd be one of those guys.
It sounds like they're so on opposite pages of like what. Sorry to interrupt. Is
There you
Polly
go.
still talking?
Yeah. You interrupted Polly,
Sorry,
okay?
Polly. Go on.
When we first adopted the cat, she was in the room with us loads, so I couldn't have sex. It's true that the cat has affected our sex life, but hopefully that's only temporary. The other weird thing is that Sirius has started to say that I treat him like the cat. He says I kiss him on the head in the same way I kiss Tegus. Maybe the affection I'm giving to Tegus has replaced the affection I should be giving to him. Who knows? He says I've started parenting him like Tegus, but I'm not deliberately doing that. The thing about Tegus is that she is so small. She fits in the palm of my hand, so I worry about her safety. I hate it when he takes her onto the balcony. It really worries me. I feel like she's not quite real yet, and I'm scared Sirius will break her. He wants to take her into the bed, but I'm scared he will smother her. We just have different parenting styles. We love having cats around, but I have sent her on a little holiday with a friend for a bit, and that has been quite nice. Well, I would have to say that if you are planning on having kids, that this is a very good thing to have happened before that.
They're talking about different like parenting styles of a pet.
Mm-hmm.
I already don't like his style of love in general.
No.
I hope he's like buying her fucking Mother's Day flowers or something because it sounds like she just mothers him.
Yeah.
Polly mothers Sirius.
Well, and then he was complaining about that too. Like, you're mothering me like, or what did he say?
You kiss me the same way you kiss the cat. That's such a
He said I've started
weird.
parenting him like Tegus. Oh, but he wants her to parent him the way that she used to parent him before, because she's clearly always been mothering him. And he's like,
Yeah.
well, now you're parenting me like the cat.
Yeah, dude, if like they had kids, he would probably be that person who's like, you're giving the kid way too much attention. Oh, you're breastfeeding again.
Such the ick.
The
Such a turn
second that
off.
guy started talking, I had an egg.
The second he started
talking. It's like
you.
your voice, but I'm like, oh, sorry.
I'm like low-key offended. Let's see what some of the readers had to say. Corinne, 77, said, when you adopted or abducted this 4-year-old kitten, didn't you know it needed her mother for its first 6 to 9 weeks, ideally 13? Rather than being relaxed, maybe a more responsible, less selfish approach would be better for this tiny animal. Both guilty.
Amen.
Polly too, though?
Well, no, actually, but I think what you said, when Polly's like, I get up and I go like make her comfortable, and then I'm like, hey, Sirius, you go do it.
Now you go do it.
Girl, you already know he doesn't want to, and you don't like the way he's doing it anyway. So yeah,
Yeah.
you're both guilty.
Mm-hmm. Gareth, 41, says, Sirius needs to relax and remember it takes time for things to find their level when a pet is introduced into a new home. Taking things so personally seems petulant. Let's face it, it's a cat and will soon be doing whatever it likes when it likes anyway. That's true.
Yeah.
Like cats are really only needy for when they're just kittens.
Yeah.
And then after that
thing's going to be a full-blown cat and it's going to want nothing to do with you.
And the kitten stage is so quick.
Mm-hmm.
They become like little teenagers by no time, like in months, right?
Yeah. You don't even get like a year before they're like, don't touch me.
I know. I know. Like, I wish that cats would stay kittens. I mean, maybe a little bit more independent, but like, if they were just like a little kitten around all the time, oh my God, I would never leave the house.
Like a mini cat?
Yeah. And they just look like a little baby all the time. Allison says, 62, why must the cat be caged? And why bring it to bed knowing that it's an intimacy deal breaker? Keep Tegus off the balcony for now, lose the cage, and learn to have sex with the cat nearby. It's a good job that the third member of this household isn't a baby.
It's so true. Yeah, they shouldn't have kids. Imagine. She'll never be able to have sex again.
No,
I feel like that is such a lie to get out of having sex
having
with him.
sex with
I think
him.
she doesn't like it. I
Yeah,
think this whole story is
it's just
it's
simply
about sex in
about,
the first place because that's what he's concerned about.
yeah.
I don't think she wants to have sex
I
with
know
this
the
guy.
cat is like becoming the excuse for
Yeah.
like actually their underlying
Yeah,
issues.
he's gonna be like, "We have to get rid of the cat," and she's gonna be like, "I'll just leave."
Yeah.
And that's that.
And that's that.
Damn, should we be therapists for couples?
I think so. We're killing it.
We're killing it. Just break up. You guys don't actually like each other.
Yeah, that's always the advice. So, who do we think's being petty here?
Polly.
You think Polly is?
I think she doesn't want to have sex with him.
Was
So she's withholding it.
the pettiness is the
She's
the
blaming it on
excuse
the
that she
cat.
can't do it in front of the cat?
Mhm.
Do we think that he's being petty too, though?
I do and I don't. I think his style of love is not. I just don't
Matching
think
up.
these people match each other.
Yeah.
I just actually just don't think they belong together. Cuz I don't know that I actually think he's petty. I just think he's like a fuck boy.
And he's way too like obsessed with his own needs
Yeah.
over anything.
Yeah.
And he obviously doesn't want this cat. I think they should be having very serious conversations about how they would raise kids if they're going to stay together.
Mhm.
Or just, I mean, like, you just have to get through this little period of time.
Yeah.
If you want a cat,
At least 4 more weeks. That's nothing. A month.
exactly. Did they say how long they've been together? I guess not. But like, I know when it's like a new relationship, sex is very important.
Yeah.
But like, as time goes on, like, it just becomes so much less what you need out of a relationship. Like, yeah, it's great. Like, like a healthy relationship should absolutely be having sex. But like, when you're going through life and obstacles come up and you go through hard times, like that's the last thing on your
Yeah,
mind.
all you're doing is staring at your unused box of condoms. Give me a fucking break.
Like staring out the window with the rain coming down, just
Yeah.
so sad. All right, and we're back. Sorry about that. We just had a technical difficulty. So if you're watching on YouTube, we just had to cut to a wide of us. So don't mind that. Still trying to figure this all out, okay? Bear with us. And whose side are we on? Or so are we on neither of their sides then?
I'm on the cat side, dude.
Yeah, the cat.
The cat.
Tagus. Team Tagus. All right, let's wrap it up with one final story. My fiance, 31M, and I, 30F, were fortunate enough to land well-paying remote and flexible jobs, so we were able to get a bigger house. We don't plan on having any children and instead give all of our love to our animals. We currently have 4 cats, 2 dogs, and 3 horses, and in the future, we want to be able to purchase a farm and get more animals. I absolutely love each of them, and we make sure they get all the care and love they deserve, since all cats and dogs were rescued and some had issues dealing with humans. Horses are a part of my hobby, so I also make sure that they are enjoying their lives and have ability to spend most of the time outside and not in the stables. It is also worth mentioning that one of my cats is 18 and has been with me since she was a kitten, and one of the horses has been with me since he was 4. He's now 25.
Damn.
Like your
I
birdies.
need a horse, I guess.
Yeah. So and then you're just going to die and abandon them.
You leave them in the will. That's what people do with their tortoises.
Oh, and
You
then
like
give them to
will them to
someone?
someone. Nobody wants any of my pets.
I know, for real. You haven't been really giving them a good advertisement on this episode.
The birds, yes. The
Okay.
dog is hard. So
That's another story.
hard sell.
So I always refer to them as my precious babies. My sister-in-law, Kate, seems to have an issue with the way we refer to our animals, especially the way I call my oldest ones. I have explained to her multiple times that considering how old they are and how long they have been with me, they are like my children, and I have raised them, taken care of them, and looked after them when they were poor. Poor? When the animals were poor?
Aren't all animals just like little leeches living off the land?
I don't think any animals have money. Oh, there is that
commercial
rich.
dogs.
Oh, true. But then they're
What rich what?
There's like a rich dog or something. I think this one woman, like a royal, like left all her money to a dog. Didn't they
Shit.
make a documentary on it?
I don't know, but that sounds like me.
I'll try and find.
The birds get the Carmen Gia.
However, Kate still feels it is disrespectful to call them babies because they are not kids and because her own children are not invited in our house and can't spend time with the animals. It got worse this week when Kate wanted to come over to stay for a few days in our house with her kids and her partner and have Winter Wonderland photo shoot with the animals, as we got a decent amount of snow over the past few days. I have told her she is not allowed, as her children are still very young and seem to be unable to treat the animals with the care and respect they deserve, especially since most of them are rescued. Kate didn't like my answer and blew up, calling me an asshole for comparing animals to children and making them more important and not allowing her to visit. For context, kids are 3 and 5. OP's fiance is on her side and he cares about the animals deeply and has told the sister that if the kids can't learn to behave around the animals and treat them with respect, then they can't come over either.
For context, horses could kill someone, period. Like if you spook it and you like do something, it could accidentally trample you, especially a little kid. So this mom is crazy to think that she's entitled to the kids going over and being around these animals. It sounds like her friend is, being protective, or sister-in-law is being like protective over everyone.
I also feel like she only just wants to come over to like have this Winter Wonderland photo shoot. Like there really isn't any like love for the animals, it sounds like. It's more of just the idea of them.
Animals are not props. They're like living creatures. And okay, you don't want somebody to call them their baby. Well, they're still a being and they do need to be respected because they're animals.
Who cares if they're calling them their babies? Why would that matter? I feel like there are this subset of human beings that really do feel offended, like when people, say they're married when they're really not, because it's like, well, marriage is a sanctity. It's a like religious, blah, blah, blah. Like, how dare you say that? And then same with
exactly
like
how they sound.
Babies is like, why, like if I want to call my pets my babies, for all intents and purposes, they are. Like you take care of them. They're your permanent babies. They never grow up out of the baby toddler phase. They're always your baby. Like humans, we only have our, the baby and toddler years until they're like, 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And so who cares? Who cares what other people are doing? What is it? It's not affecting you. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. That's like, to me, that argument coming from anyone is just so fucking stupid.
Mind your own
You
fucking
didn't
business.
push it out of you. Okay. Yeah. Well, some people adopt children and they're their children. You adopt a fucking animal.
Great point.
You're like signing up for a responsibility. I mean, holy shit. When I'm working, I have to take Bo to doggy daycare. He gets a report card. They have to feed him. I'm fucking doling out the money.
Oh, I know. They're expensive.
You take them to the vet when they're sick.
And that's the other thing too, is I feel like I've done situations in the past where it's like, say it's two coworkers, one of them has pets and the other one has kids. They're both like complaining about, oh, I'm exhausted, blah, blah, blah. I feel like the one with kids is always like, oh my God, cry me a river. You have a dog. Like I have kids that I'm taking care of. But I think that just always goes back to that whole point of like, you can't compare and contrast people's struggles.
No.
Somebody could seem like they have the worst life in the world, but the way they handle it, they're not hurting as bad as someone who has like the most luxurious life, but has
kids.
Exactly. No, like has like mental struggles or whatever. Like you just can't compare and contrast every human experience because literally I have no fucking kids, but I'm exhausted every day. And like, I'll be like, oh, I'm so tired. Like, I think I need to go get something myself checked or something like that. But like, I'll say it and people are like, oh, well, why? And I'm like, there's no reason why I'm not. I'm just exhausted today. But I'll feel bad saying that. Like, I'll try not to say that in front of people like that do have kids or that are working like 12-hour shifts because I'm like, I sound fucking ridiculous to say
No,
I'm
don't say
exhausted.
that shit. I fucking talk about my mental health like it's so normal. I'll be like, I'm fucking miserable. I I almost choked on my dinner last night and let it happen. And people are like, and I'm like, yeah, you're tired. Me too. Fuck, we're all like mentally going through shit. So I talk about it
Oh.
like it's so fucking normal.
Well, it does normalize it for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's where like this woman is just being so judgy, and then she's being like mad at her for however she's talking about her pets, but it's like, oh well, then can we come over and use them though
No.
as our props?
Yeah, this isn't like an Instagram headquarter photo shoot
Mhm.
site, girl. No, you cannot.
But now going back to like before she was wanting to come over, I think in general they don't let them come over, right?
It sounds like it, but it's to me like everything that this person said sounds like more of a safety issue than not. Like we have to remember pets are still animals and they have
Yes.
instincts. All of these animals are adopted. They have their issues with humans. Like anything could set it off. Kids are wild animals essentially. So
True.
like this
They're
kid could
still
like
learning also.
grab like a dog the wrong way and the dog is going to go into defense mode and it's going to bite the kid, or like I said,
Well,
a
that's the other thing
horse.
too is yeah, horse for sure. That's the other thing is like, shouldn't you also be concerned about your 3 and your 5-year-old? Like I certainly will be weary about my kids being around specific types of
Yeah.
animals, or if the animal seems like it's a little bit
Yeah.
rambunctious or whatever.
Well, it sounds like she just like really needs this picture.
Yeah, that's what it seems like at the end of the day. But yeah, she's like picking and choosing when to like these animals when it's like convenient for her.
Yeah. It's like those people who are like, my dog's really friendly. And the other person who's like, my dog is not. Well, your dog's wagging
Mhm.
the tail. Well, I don't care if my dog is like whistling at you.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't
telling
care
you
if he's hitting on you.
it's a bad idea. And just trust me.
Yes, totally. And that's a responsible pet owner.
Yeah. I'm team pet owner.
Yes, for sure. She had another edit here that says, we do spend a lot of time with our niece and nephew once every few weeks and do activities together. It is just we are not comfortable with them at our house. Both of the kids have been exposed to animals. They visit my mother in law a few times a week, who has dogs. However, due to the way they have been around the dogs, her dogs tend to hide when the kids are there and refuse to come out. So it sounds like they've actually never even let the kids come over at all. I kind of feel like you should at least give them a chance, no? Or like wait till they're older, I guess. Because I don't know, little kids like love animals. Like I
Yeah.
loved animals, especially when I was a little kid. Like I loved the fact that we had so many animals. My thing is always taking care of animals is
Yeah.
not fun for me. I really don't like that. I don't like being responsible for them. So as a little kid, at least as a 5-year-old, as a 3-year-old, I don't know that I would know, but I think I would be upset where it's like, well, why can't I go play with the horse? Like, can I come over? Like, I think there is a world where they could like see how it went and like sit there down and be
Yeah.
like, okay, we're not going to let you touch them, but like, let's look at the horsey, like maybe
Yeah.
introduce them that way, because then they'll never know how to act around these animals. Or maybe the parents need to whip them into shape and be like, the dogs are hiding because of you. Like, be gentle.
Well, it sounds like that conversation needs to happen regardless.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, same. When I was a kid, I was exposed to animals, but also like I, as an adult, have cuteness aggression like so bad that like when I was a kid, it was like easy.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Natasha, relax, because I would just like see a kitten and just like want to squeeze the shit out of it and like
Mhm.
hug it. So I feel like, they're seeing these kids with the other animals and they're like, you know, our mom's animals can handle it. They just go hide, but like they know their animals too. And
Mhm.
some animals are just way more reactive and it's best to just be like, no.
Yeah,
When
let's
you're
wait.
older and you can like listen to know, because some kids too, like they're pretty good, but every once in a while they're just not gonna listen.
Mhm.
So I think it's
Yeah.
a safety thing. Like, of course, I want all kids to be exposed to animals, but you
Well,
know,
like animals and kids, like both of them are unpredictable.
yeah,
You can't, as much as you try and control them, you can't.
yeah,
And Kate is being like such a monster here of like calling her an asshole. again, she's going back to comparing the animals to children and making them more important and not allowing to visit. It's like, okay, well, you catch more flies with honey than vinegar, babe. Like, you are not putting up you're not putting your best foot forward here. Why would she ever want you over ever
Yeah,
again?
exactly. Like, oh, you think I'm an asshole because of my animals? Now I don't even want you to come over.
Yeah,
Like,
just wait.
you can bring your kids over for Christmas next year, but you can wait in the car, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I would be saying.
The University of Pettiness. That's a class you need to teach.
Yeah, I teach it on Wednesdays now, starting today.
Today.
Today's Wednesday. Holy
It's
shit. Yeah,
Wednesday.
starting today. University of Pettiness.
We're team OP.
Yeah.
And yeah, your sister-in-law is being petty. Or is she being petty for not allowing them over? No, she has a good reason to not
I
allow
think
them.
it's a very like sound reason.
I do wonder though if she liked the sister-in-law better, if she would be more willing to work with, if she'd be more willing to allow the kids to come over.
Maybe. But also like her husband, I feel like is on the same page. So I think he knows.
That's true. That's true.
He knows what's up.
Yeah. And it sounds like the sister-in-law is like, it sounds like it's like brothers, and then these are the sister-in-laws.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's there's a sense of entitlement happening in that family, I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah, they clearly just don't get along.
Yeah.
But I think it starts with Kate being so fucking judgmental about.
Boundaries.
Yeah. All right. Well, real quick before we end, I wanted to talk about your mural. Tell
Yeah.
everyone about this amazing mural that you got the opportunity to do.
Yeah, so I lived at this apartment complex and I asked the guy who owned it, like we had this wall, it was so ugly. You drive up this hill and like the apartment's so cool because it's the only building at the end of the street. And I just like asked him like, can I fix it? It had huge cracks in it. My best friend Sandy came and helped me. We like did cement work and everything. And he was like, yeah, paint whatever you want. And I was looking for a little more like guidance.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, what do you think? He's like, I don't know. It's like California. Put a palm tree on it. And I'm like, oh,
So
shit.
basic.
Okay. So he had been in my apartment for like repairs and stuff. And my series called Brown Girls, which is very much just like for the girls who aren't like, white enough to like blend in with their white family. I'm half Iranian and I'm not quite Iranian enough. I was just in this middle ground. I wanted to like look into like what pop art would look like for those girls. So, he had seen all my work before and I was like, I just want to do like a big brown girl mural, which I did include, everyone in this.
Oh, okay.
Nobody has any skin color. It's just like it's illustrations, like pop art illustrations. Yeah, and if any listeners go and check it out, I'll give Shannon the address too. But like if you go, tag me. I think it's really fun. It's very community based. The city did get called on me.
Oh,
you want to talk about fucking petty? Actually, this is a perfect episode.
Great.
My old neighbor, this guy, everyone has a problem with. He's so rude. One of the girls who lived next door to me had 2 younger kids, and like one of the kids walked by him at one point and was like, "Hello," and the guy fucking spit on him. Yeah.
On the kid?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
Yeah, so that's the kind of like person we're dealing with. And so I'm like almost done with the mural. And he called my landlord and was like, hey, are you going to get this graffiti off the wall?
So he called it graffiti?
Well, my landlord's freaking out thinking like, oh shit, someone went and tagged over it. Like, fuck,
yeah.
So he shows up and he sees it and he's like, so he texts the guy like, what wall are you talking about? And he's like, the one on Toltec. And he's like, that's not graffiti, that's art. And like,
I love that.
the guy was like, well, I think it's ugly and it looks like graffiti. If you don't do something about it, I'm gonna call the city. And my landlord's like, I fucking own this building. Like, call whoever you want.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were out there and it was like the second to last day. I'm like putting finishing touches on this shit. And a guy comes from the city and he's like, do you guys have a permit? And I'm like, already so annoyed. We've already dealt with so many people. Do you have a permit to be here? You have permission? Do you own the building? It's like, no, bitch, I'm just out here at 11 o'clock in the morning in broad daylight painting.
Yeah.
Like, and something nice. I'm not painting like dicks on the wall.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, I don't have a permit. I have permission. And he goes, oh, well, you actually do need a permit. And I like look and he has like the whole like badge and everything. And I'm like, oh shit, sorry,
Shit.
dude. I don't. But like the owner let me and he's like, I know, but it's like public facing, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll tell him to get a permit. And he's like, well, I just want you to know, like, we did have a complaint, but I dismissed it and
Yeah.
told the guy, like, do you want graffiti or this like nice community mural?
Yeah.
But like if we do get another complaint, it could become a problem.
Damn.
So,
Did he get a permit?
well, he tried to, and they're like, well, the
It's like
complaint didn't
done,
go
basically.
through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we can't do it retroactively unless someone complains. So we don't have a complaint on file.
Good.
And she's like, we'll help you if you need it, but we didn't need it. But I'm a vandal, y'all.
She's a vandal.
I
Add
got
it
the
to the
city.
resume.
Mhm.
Actually, that perfectly takes me into a segment that I've been wanting to do. It's called Drama of the Week.
Mhm.
And have you seen this? It's online. A TikTok. You guys know I love my TikToks. About a muralist who posted a TikTok video and at a pizza place. She got hired to do a mural at this. Did you hear
In
about
New
this?
Jersey,
I think so. Yeah. I think it was in
Montclair, New
Montclair,
Jersey.
which is where I went to college my first year.
Mhm.
And she got hired to paint pizzas. Kind of like cartoonish, kind of realistic pizzas, but on a white wall. It's cute. It is cute. So she posts a video and it starts off, one woman is like, oh, you're painting over the other mural? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, okay. Like she was obviously very disappointed.
Yeah.
And so the video starts off with like, oh, I got like hate, but then all these amazing comments afterwards. And then it was like a montage of all these people coming in and saying like, oh, it looks so good. It looks so good. Well, she left out that there was this beautiful mural behind it of two elderly women. I think one is black and then maybe the other one was Native American.
I think so. I looked it up because I was so curious about like, God, what was this mural that everybody's or like that
Yeah.
anyone would be pissed about?
Yeah, it was like a beautiful mural that was like just representing like, you know, the hardships that these women have been through. It's a very close up of their faces. It shows like all their, you know, lines and it's beautiful. It's like a beautiful representation of like old age basically.
Yeah.
And I guess the owners of the pizza shop didn't like it. And so they wanted it covered up. And so there was a big controversy online of like, should that have been covered up? And people were saying it felt a little racist of the pizza shop to do that. And then they were also kind of blaming the girl too, because it's like, well, you should have let someone else do that. Like, then you shouldn't have taken the job. But it's like, I don't think that that's fair at all to say because artists are always struggling. Like, unless you become like a huge fucking artist or a huge actor, we're not making a lot of money doing the shit that we love to do.
Yeah.
Okay. So for her to deny a job, like then someone else was going to do it.
Yeah.
I understand maybe not posting that TikTok because then that became controversial by her not giving context of why the original woman was upset about the mural being painted over.
Well, so I've learned a lot since doing my first mural. I don't think she's in the wrong at all, the artist. It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, we get hired for gigs. And of course, we want to like put our art anywhere. And like doing it on a wall is so different, than
Mhm.
doing like a little piece and then somebody hanging it on their wall. Like having this space and like the opportunity to do that doesn't just like come all the time.
No. There's only so many walls in the world that people want like art on, you know?
Yeah. I think the pizza shop, it's interesting. That mural that was there was like stunning, like a
Mhm.
work of art.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that hers isn't. It's a totally different style of art and it's a different vibe. Um, but like one thing that I've learned is like when you're getting these permits for these things, in LA at least, you have to go through the Department of Cultural Affairs.
Oh.
And they keep this whole thing, like every mural in LA that's like done through the proper channels
Mhm.
is a registered mural and it becomes a
Mm.
part of the community. So like, for example, my mural now, when it's registered, they would have to go through the Department of Cultural Affairs to have it painted over.
Oh, cool.
Or and like have my name on record and all that stuff, because they are trying to like preserve the history of these spaces. So I don't know what the rules are in New Jersey, but it's like if that piece was super significant. Look, it was so beautiful. It's not something that I'd be like, "Ugh, this thing needs like a
Yeah, it's an eyesore or
rework," or yeah,
something.
it's like ruining business. I feel like it would have went through that, but also like, man, art is so subjective and people like it or they hate it. And
True. And I do think like as a pizza business, like the pizza as the artwork on the side of the building is definitely a little bit more like Instagrammable, for example. Like I
yeah.
think you would probably get more
Yeah,
business.
like foot traffic.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Because people love standing up against a wall and like, making a little moment out of it. So I get from the business standpoint, I think they just weren't thinking about the cultural impact of it, or they probably weren't even thinking about like what the symbolism of this art piece
Yeah.
is. And they were just thinking about business.
Yeah, and you cannot please everyone, and people, especially in communities that are like a little bit tighter and stuff, like they don't like
They don't like
stuff
change.
changing. They want to like preserve
Mm-mm.
what they've known and what they've loved.
Yep.
So there's probably a lot of sensitivity around that as well. I hope somebody got a really good picture of it, like a good clean picture of it,
Yeah.
and has it printed and it becomes like a part of the history of.
Yeah, like maybe that would be a good solution, like hang it in the pizza joint. Like, how
Yeah,
they always do, like they'll
like
have like little history plaques of different restaurants, which I love that personally. I
me
always go
too.
and like read them. I think it just adds so much more, you know,
I think there's a
chicness.
way to like, yeah, I think there's a way to like fix this and like honor what was, but also like move forward and, you know?
Yeah.
But I do feel bad for that girl because it's like, I don't think
Oh.
she does. I think she's like the least deserving of the heat.
And she wasn't thinking about how what she was posting was like she didn't, I guess she was just not thinking about the mural beforehand. But I think it would have been, if you wanted to post that, it would have been good to give context. It wasn't just like a Karen coming up and giving you shit about your pizza.
Yeah.
Like
Because there
she,
are Karens who just like want to just give you shit.
for
Like when
sure.
people were giving me grief about it, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This wall was so gnarly.
Ugly.
Also, we dug out these like giant plants that were like not attractive. I spread a bunch of poppy and like California wildflowers there. It's like
Beautiful.
we were trying to like elevate it and like it was an ugly piece of shit, you
Yeah.
know? And it's like this woman, her opinion is hers, but she wasn't just like asking to be like rude. It wasn't like an ugly wall.
Yeah. Which I also get that even when the, piece of art doesn't have the history behind it or anything, but sometimes when I'm walking down, I'm like, oh, shoot, they painted over that mural. I really liked that one. But it's like, okay, well, we're on to the next.
Yeah.
But they are like art pieces where it's like, oh, fuck, I wasn't expecting that to go away.
Yeah. And you have to think about it too. Like those public ones are so temporary anyway.
Yeah.
That's why I love my students. Like this new generation of kids, they do not care about their pieces. They just like crumple it up and put it in their backpack, where I'm like, what a beautiful piece of artwork. And these kids are like, I'm going to trash this shit.
All right. Well, we just had technical difficulties again. So if you're watching on YouTube, the video is gone. But thank you so much for joining me, Tasha. It was so good to
Yeah.
see you.
Thank you for having me. This was very fun.
Such a blast.
Yeah.
Really
Anytime you
appreciate it.
can think of another topic you want my sparkling personality to comment on,
That's right.
let me know.
Collectors next.
Ooh, I would love to.
Where can they find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram, Brown Girls
Okay.
Art.
I'll put it in the show
Yeah,
notes.
okay, good. Or you can find me on TikTok at Tragic in Public.
Yes, that's right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. And remember, you can't spell drama without D. I'm like talking to the camera and there's no one there.
Bye-bye.
It's not filming.